Welcome to Getting Your Dream Smile with Cosmetic Dentistry. This is where we discuss and help patients get what they want in a smile while being totally informed. Whether it is porcelain veneers, bonding, whitening, or Invisalign, you'll find out what is best for your situation. Everything you should know, where and who to see, and all the costs involved. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Getting Your Dream Smile with Cosmetic Dentistry. My name is Sabrina, your host for today, and I'll be introducing to you Dr. Nip, who is a cosmetic dentistry resident and has been practicing cosmetic dentistry and dentistry for 5 years.
Hi, thanks Sabrina. Thanks for having me here. Um, I was invited with Dr. Eshom to kind of share some cases, just to kind of emphasize and showcase how minimally invasive dentistry can change people's lives, and picking the right cosmetic dentist to do it is very important. And so I'm hoping through these cases we can show you what minimally invasive dentistry is all about.
So did you want to share one of your cases with us and maybe explain what minimally invasive dentistry is for the audience?
Good point, Sabrina. Let me share you guys a case here. So for the viewing audience, we'll share a case. His name is James. For the listening audience, this is a patient. His name is James. In this case, he actually has really good tooth structure. You can see here that pretty much overall he just needed some Invisalign just to straighten his teeth, and we got it pretty much aligned with Invisalign, although his main concern still was the size of some of his teeth. So as you can see here for the viewing audience, his laterals were a little round. They were a little misshaped, I'd say, compared to one another. He just wanted to have a much more fuller smile and a much more even smile. If we look at the centrals here, they're a little worn. And so with minimally invasive dentistry, as we practice here at Dr. Eshom's office, we were able to kind of transition his smile. Yeah, the case just blossomed at the end. So here, after Invisalign, we got him to this. And so we decided to work on the front 6 teeth. That allowed us to kind of minimally invasively add length to some of his teeth, like his centrals here, and just bring back, just add shape and a definition to the laterals. So here's the after. We added length, we added shape, width, and we did it in a way where we didn't have to remove any tooth structure. So he was just very astounded at what we got. Look at the contours of his teeth. It was done in one appointment. And we were just able to kind of just redefine his smile without removing tooth structure. And I think that's something people need to value, because we only get one set of teeth after we get our adult teeth in. We're not like sharks, so we don't grow our teeth back. And so the value of minimally invasive dentistry is we can actually transition a patient's smile like this to this without removing any tooth structure. And so this is something that will last him for, who knows, 10, 20 years. And if it needs to be replaced, the value is he still has all his tooth structure left, so we can, transition him to his next smile pretty easily.
Yeah, and I think that's such a great point to bring up, because in the picture for our listening audience, at first it's like, yeah, he has great tooth structure and he has great teeth, but there is definitely some room for improvement. And I think that he found a great place to come to fix his teeth and his problems, because as you can see, for the viewing audience, his new smile is just brighter and it fits his smile and like his face perfectly, and just the shape of his teeth they look amazing. It's great work on Dr. Nip's part, and it's so nice that minimally invasive cosmetic dentistry allows you to keep your tooth structure, and then you know that you're keeping that strength and you don't have to take away any tooth structure to get a brand new smile. And so I think one point we want to emphasize to our patients that are listening is that when you're looking for a cosmetic dentist, be sure to find someone who values your tooth structure and wants to save as much tooth as possible and give you a smile without having to sacrifice your structure.
Yeah, no, Serena, I think you make a valuable point, is finding a dentist who values your tooth structure, because, there's people out there that can make changes to your teeth without you knowing, and, they might make additional changes in order to kind of get that perfect smile. But if with us valuing minimally invasive dentistry, the goal is to preserve tooth structure, but design it in a way where we can have a nice, smile at the end. And so I think this is like the best of both worlds, where for the viewing audience, we're able to get James a perfect smile. You can see that even his lip support is much better, and yet now we bought him time where later on, if it needs to be replaced, we can easily replace it or repair it without removing tooth structure. So I think this is something many patients truly value once they go through the process.
Yeah, and that's also another point to bring up, is that the steps of minimally invasive cosmetic dentistry can also start with Invisalign. And that's a great starting point, because that alone is just like using your natural teeth to create your dream smile. And I think a lot of patients kind of consider just porcelain veneers with cosmetic dentistry and don't think, okay, where can I start off from that uses my natural tooth structure to give me the smile that I want. And Invisalign definitely helps with straightening your smile, and then after that, if you're still not happy, at least you have a solid structure to work off of to get your dream smile. And so, moving on from that, do you want to show maybe one of your Invisalign cases, Dr. Nip?
Yeah, why don't we show a case very similar to James. He did Invisalign. We got his teeth into a better position, where we then did minimally invasive dentistry after that as well. So let me share you Jose. And you made a good point, Sabrina. It sounds like you're somebody studying for dental school or someone in the dental department. You're getting there. No, perfect. So let me share you another case for the viewing audience. His name is Jose. He initially came to us just for Invisalign. He wasn't really particular about his smile, but after getting through the transition of Invisalign, his eyes opened up, and the possibilities of even a better smile after Invisalign was revealed to him. And that's the beautiful thing about a minimally invasive dentistry. It leads you to kind of open the possibilities to future options. So here's Jose. You can see, looking at his case initially, it's a very complex case where he was actually missing two of his teeth. He was missing laterals. So in place, he only had canines. So he was actually missing two lateral incisors. So his main goal was just to kind of get his teeth into a better position. He's actually in the middle of Invisalign case here. And we got his teeth pretty much into an ideal situation. Let me start off where he first started, because I think you guys will appreciate how his first initial case, or when he first initially appeared at his office. So here's Jose when he first walked in. You can see that with the crowding in his mouth, the misalignment, you can see how it damaged not only his teeth, but also the gums as well. And it just caused a little bit more inflammation than what was needed. So here's retracted. You can see the gums were very inflamed. It's due to his inability to keep these teeth very clean because of the positioning of the teeth. So through Invisalign here at our office with Dr. Eshom, we were able to design his case and get his teeth into a better position, where then later on it opened his eyes on how we could achieve a better smile through our minimally invasive options later on. So this is just to show the viewing audience and the listening audience how he presented to our office. So you can see he had a crossbite here. He had a very narrow smile and narrow width on both sides. And so this is his initial presentation. Now, if we come to towards the end of his Invisalign, look at that. Yeah.
That looks great.
Gums are a much healthier position. Gums are much healthier. His teeth are in a much better position. And look how much wider his smile got. It allowed us to view an option on how we can close the remaining spaces in his mouth, and at least maybe give these canines a look to kind of represent what lateral teeth should look like. So this is kind of like where we ended with Jose. And so now again we opened his eyes to minimally invasive dentistry. He wanted more, and so now we treatment plan what we call BioClear Veneers. And I'm sure Dr. Eshom has went over that multiple times on this podcast. But BioClear Veneers is another minimally invasive option that allows us to shrink wrap injection mold our heated composite material over your teeth without removing any tooth structure. So this is just a treatment plan or presentation we shared with Jose, and we kind of went over pros and cons. And so the value of finding a cosmetic dentist who specializes in minimally invasive dentistry is being able to study the case and figure out what areas we may need to kind of preserve, or what areas we may need to potentially reduce in order to kind of get an ideal result. So the presentation we went over with Jose involved kind of just showing him what his teeth could look like with BioClear veneers. And so with this presentation, I did note to him, because of the rotation of these canines, that might be an area where we may have to slightly reduce in order to give us enough room for the material to cover the tooth and still look like a lateral incisor. So yeah, this was our presentation to him. We did treatment, and the benefit of doing minimally invasive dentistry too, in this case, is we're able to do the BioClear veneers in one visit. So there you go.
Oh, wow.
Look
That
at
looks
that.
amazing. Crazy.
So you can see how, again, with Invisalign, we were able to lower his lowers there so that now he's not showing his lowers as much. It gave us more room to kind of add to his uppers. And so by working on 6 teeth, we were able to kind of distribute the space pretty evenly to kind of close up his smile. And so again, yeah, no tooth structure was removed. Maybe the only area was right along the canines just to give us enough room for the material, but at the end, we developed for a very difficult case, we're able to kind of minimally invasively create I would say, a perfect ideal smile.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
looks really cool to me, because in the first picture, you just see his canines. And of course, his teeth are straightened because of Invisalign. And already off the bat, he has a great set of teeth that you can work with.
Yep.
But because he's missing his lateral incisors, you do have that space in between his 2 front teeth, or his central incisors, and then his canine. And so even though it is still a straight and great smile, by using BioClear Uveneers and minimally invasive cosmetic dentistry, Dr. Nip was able to achieve a really nice smile that basically looks like he has lateral incisors now. And honestly, this is my first time seeing this case, and I'm just amazed. Like, when you pulled it up, I was like, there's no way that's his new smile. So it's really amazing the things that you can do with minimally invasive cosmetic dentistry without even having to take away any of his tooth structure. Like, we basically, or Dr. Nip used his natural tooth structure and just added onto that to create just a masterpiece and a new smile for the patient. And I'm sure he's very, very happy about that. And I think one thing that was super important with what Dr. Nip was talking about was going over the case with the patient, so to let him see what the possibilities are. So maybe, Dr. Nip, what are the benefits, and why should patients look out for cosmetic dentists who will go over cases with them?
Yeah, I think the philosophy at our office here is just providing informed consent to the patient, giving them as much education needed to make the best informed decision for themselves. And I think the value of creating presentations like this just gives the patients it gives them the option to choose whether this is right for them or not. And so, yeah, it's just the value of these photos allows us to kind of create these presentations, and it just makes me feel more comfortable knowing that the patient made the decision rather than me pushing them to do it, because they had all the information right in front of them. And so that's the value I think the presentations that we can create with photos allows us to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think, yeah, it's super important to make sure you go to a cosmetic dentist who's not pushing you towards treatment, especially if someone's pushing you towards, like, let's say porcelain veneers. Like, oh yeah, knock out all these teeth, shave them down, put on some porcelain veneers, and you'll have a great smile. And yeah, you'll end up with the great smile. However, the process of getting to that smile and shaving down your teeth is a lot, and that's something you'll never be able to get back. And it's important for you guys to know that there are other options, such as BioClear Uveneer. And for the viewing audience and even the listening audience, I encourage you to go onto YouTube and check out this transformation, because I mean, I wouldn't have thought that you could have saved this smile. But with Invisalign and minimally invasive cosmetic dentistry with BioClear, you really can transform your smile into something that's unimaginable yet so nice.
Yeah, no. I mean, and like you mentioned, Spirit, it's finding someone who knows how to treatment plan, or I guess construct, or execute a case like this. Because I mean, just if you were to go in blindly and do a case like this, like, you could actually make the smile a lot worse. So the value of the presentation, going back, is just being able to study it, and just allows me personally to kind of feel more confident on working a case like this and getting a result where the patient's happy. And also for me to be very happy too, because at the end of the day, we have to sleep comfortably, and I want to make sure I could do the best. And that's what's something that we value at our office, is providing the best option for the patient. And in this case, this was the ideal option for him.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Nip, for sharing your knowledge.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So if you guys have any other questions, or you want us to evaluate your smile potentially, please leave a comment down below, or scan the QR code on our YouTube video, or click the link in our description for the podcast. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you, Dr. Nip, for sharing your cases. These are absolutely wonderful, and sharing your knowledge. We hope that you guys learned a lot from this podcast, and we hope to see you guys soon.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Getting Your Dream Smile with Cosmetic Dentistry with Dr. David Eshom. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast to be notified about future episodes. Click the link in the description to fill out a form if you have any questions on cosmetic dentistry or your smile that you want us to answer. See you next episode.